Hey, what's up? It's Danaya Azure. Be sure to follow me all over social media at Danaya Azure, DANAYAAZURE, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.
This is Matt Blanchard, and you are listening to Danaya Azure Radio.
Hello, Matt, and welcome to Danaya Azure Radio.
Well, thank you, Danaya. How are you doing tonight?
I am good, and yourself?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. It's been a great day.
Yes, so this is Matt Blanchard. He is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio, and I'm super excited for him to be here. He's a public speaker and a teacher, and just an awesome, awesome person. So, Matt, go ahead and introduce yourself, please, sir.
All right. So I'm Matt Blanchard, and I teach anatomy at Dixie State University in southern Utah, St. George. I have been married, 28 years to my high school sweetheart. I've put up with the same girl since I was 15 years old. You believe that or not? We have 3 amazing children, 25, my oldest son, 23, my perfect little girl, and 21, my youngest son. And born and raised in Utah, and, that's me.
Definitely. So I met Matt in the 413, which by this time, if you listen to the station, you've heard about this a couple different times. The 413 is this amazing group that meets super early in the morning. And you're on the West Coast, so what time is that for you?
Yeah, it's 4:38 in the morning. Yeah, that's when that room opens up, and what an amazing room. It's changed my life. It's introduced me to you and so many other people and just so many different opportunities. It's amazing. I love it.
Definitely. Yes, that's 5:38 for me Central Time, but it's totally worth it because I get to connect with amazing people from around, not just around the country, but around the world, and build these incredible relationships that I would not have been able to build otherwise. What really made me want to have Matt on was just talking about his journey. So he currently is in a wheelchair, and if you could kind of explain a little bit what happened with that, because you had to do it twice, correct?
I did. You know what? If you don't do it right the first time, you got to do it again, I guess. To my knowledge, I'm the only one that has been cut out of a car with the jaws of life twice, life-flighted twice, paralyzed twice, and survived. And, the first time was back in 2006, and I was an electrical contractor at the time, and I was traveling up to a job and lost control of my truck in the snow. Ended up rolling my brand new truck 3 times, and my back went in the steering wheel, and it snapped me right in 2. And when the truck came to a stop, everything was black, and I couldn't see anything. I was confused and disoriented, and I realized that my hips were covering my face. And I reached up over my head, right, and then pulled my knees down, and I knew right away. Yep, I was paralyzed. So crazy. I didn't have my seatbelt on because at 30 years old, 6'2", 215, who needs to be wearing their seatbelt? Well, I did, but not that morning. And then the second accident happened February 12th of this year, actually, of 2021. I was traveling down to Las Vegas, Nevada, and a drunk driver jumped the median and hit me head on. It was 9:30 at night, so it was dark, and hit me head on she was doing 120, and I was doing 80, so a 200-mile-an-hour impact. Suffered back fractures again. So just the craziest things, but I really have. I've been given the gift of paralysis. That is the honest truth. The best thing that's ever happened to me. Now, in the beginning, in 2006, if you would ask me that, the answer would have been hell no. But, now looking back 16 years later, Danaya, you and I would have never met.
Correct.
All the doors, right, that have been opened, they just, several have been shut. But the thousands and thousands that have been opened are just, I wouldn't trade it. I really wouldn't trade it for my legs back.
Wow. And Matt Blanchard is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. I think the biggest thing for me has been seeing your energy and seeing your spirit and getting to meet your students. They're so sweet. Like, I love your students. They're so awesome. They have the most beautiful personalities. The first time I had them speak, I was like, you are in, wait, how are they all? But because they have the sweet, innocent voices, but they're college students, and they are super awesome, and you listen to them, and they are so incredibly smart and driven and goal oriented, and it's super dope to have them come in and talk about you and what you're doing, and all of that has been just an absolute joy in the mornings for sure.
I appreciate, I come into the class every morning or afternoon, so I teach 3 different lectures over there, all anatomy, and I always start every class period with some type of music, whether that be R&B or some country, and I mean, I rock all different genres. I've even thrown some Beethoven in. That wasn't very popular, but you got to test things out, and you don't know if you don't like it until you try it. So that's kind of the way I live my life and have lived my life is, a life of uncertainty is a lot of fun. Where I think a lot of people get caught in the grind every day of doing the same thing over and over again and eating the same thing and taking the same path to work. I take different paths home from work, and I switch things up on the daily, and I can't wait to hang out with you because we're going to have a good time. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
Most definitely. So the one thing that I've noticed, if you guys look at his social media, you follow him at Blanchard3 on Instagram. He can't walk it. He's doing stuff like skiing. I think it was jumping rope at some point. I was like, wait a minute, I can't even see. So that
was the hardest. That was one of the hardest things because it was, like on my shoulders. And so if you fall, okay, picture this. So I'm locked into that ski. And, you got that one mono ski underneath you, and I'm sitting in that little seat. And then the poles come out. And if you fall down, like on the hillside, you don't fall that far. But you fall on the downward slope, and you're coming down pretty hard. And oh my hell. And then trying to get yourself back up and get going again. But I did it, and I conquered it, and anyways, that's what I do. I take a challenge, and I look at it as an opportunity to grow, no matter what that challenge is. Like, well, you even know, I've been going through some physical challenges lately, and I've been sitting here thinking, what is my lesson to learn in this? Like, what in the hell is my lesson to learn? And I think it's patience. So, Danaya, sometimes you're forced into things. Like I got forced into paralysis. That's, I was 6'2", 215, and just a mountain of muscle, best shape of my life. Just ran the St. George Marathon, and all of a sudden I get in this accident, and I can't move anything. I can't move my legs. They're so heavy. They're so big and heavy. And I'm laying there in the ICU, and all the lights are down. I'm by myself, and for whatever reason, I couldn't sit up, and all I wanted to do was sit up and look at my legs. Right. So I reached down with my hand to grab my leg to pull myself up, and I couldn't feel the touch of my own hand. Oh my hell! And I just started crying right then, and I thought, if I've got to do this, I don't want to live. I don't want to live a life of paralysis or life in a wheelchair. And my wife didn't sign up for this, and I can't be this man, a quote unquote man that I thought, I was. And I sure as hell didn't resonate with a wheelchair. But it really it's the best thing. I can say that with 100% honesty, 100% truth. And a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their head around it. Is that it's the best thing that's happened to me. And the best thing that's happened to my family. That's my kids, my wife, the best thing that's ever happened to us. So.
Yeah, and I got to meet your son-in-law, correct?
Yes, Johan.
Johan is so sweet. Very good guy. Very, very smart. Your daughter is incredibly lucky for sure. Matt Blanchard, amazing motivational speaker and teacher, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. And I know, and I'm glad that you were honest about, your first thoughts when you first got injured. I can't even imagine. Like, I've been in the hospital a couple of times for things like pneumonia, and like I had like a really horrendous like arm injury that I had to deal with. And so, but I know the one thing that I saw you were posting earlier this week, you said I can actually feel pain. Yeah. And I'm happy to be able to feel pain, because you're saying that you wouldn't have been able to feel your legs in so long. And that shows progress. And I think
it's
a lot of people
amazing.
don't understand that.
And I'm a recovering addict. I got addicted to Oxycontin, and I'd never touched any kind of drug like that before my accident. And you're 100% right. Like, my legs freaking hurt even right now, and I am so grateful. Yeah, like joyful of this pain. And even talking to the doctors, and I'm like, why can I feel it? And they're like, I don't know why you can feel that. Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
And they look at me like, what are you talking about? But pain is, especially when you haven't felt something in 15, 16 years. Yeah, it's almost been 16 years. It's amazing. Like, I sit here in pain with a big ass smile on my face, because it is, I shouldn't be feeling that. So it's awesome.
It's almost like the last accident almost like readjusted something. So
Amen.
You never know. You never know. We might see you walk again in 2022. You never know. You're
right.
know.
You never know. You're 100% right. And with the people around you, with attitude and effort, like each one of us has a 100% control of our attitude and our effort on the daily. There's nothing that anybody can do to take that from us. Whether you're the president of the United States or locked in a prison cell, which I don't want to be either, but we have control of that. So it's a decision. And I was broken. I remember being so broken when I got home and thinking about all the things I couldn't do anymore, which is just a downward spiral into a dark place. And my wife came to me and she says, look, babe, what kind of day is it going to be today? You decide, because she'd had enough of it. And she wrote it on our mirror in permanent marker. And it's still there today. What kind of day is it going to be today? You decide. So I get to see that every single morning. And it's my default now. I decide. I'm in control. Nobody can make me happy or is responsible to make me happy.
Making you happy.
No one can make me sad or is responsible to make me sad. That's all on me. So, life's good. Life's great.
And Matt Blanchard, public speaker, phenomenal teacher, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. I think the one thing that I would say when it comes to Matt is just the fact that you are so driven, the fact that you did not let this hinder you in any capacity, the fact that you are sitting up there and you're inspiring your students and you are constantly giving back and you're always messaging people when they're in the 413 and just saying, how are you? Have an amazing day. Just having this outstanding attitude. What do you think has helped you to keep such a positive attitude through everything that you've been through?
I attribute number one, my wife, and then my kids, and then my support group. So here's the rule at our house: you're allowed to have one day. We'll give you a day, and you can have your pity party, and we'll let you do your thing. But tomorrow morning, and we all get going at, I get 4:38 for me, but at 6 a.m. we get going as a family. We get grinding and talk about what we're going to do for the day, and where we're going. My boys have started multiple companies at very young ages, and myself, I still go to physical therapy to regain the ability to walk again. That's still a goal of mine. And then, just you never know who's watching, who's listening.
Yes.
And when I get out of my wheelchair and I jump on the pedal bike and I tie my feet to the pedals and I'm using my hands on my knees to get my legs going, you don't, and then you have somebody come over who's inspired, or you have, and you're just being you. Or I could be laying in my bed and thinking, this sucks, and the world dealt me a sour hand, when it really didn't. My land, it's amazing. Life is amazing, but I choose it, and I will it. I find the silver lining in every dark cloud. I know it's I'm annoyingly positive. And when I say that, like, people who are dark or people who are down or depressed or can't be around me for very long because I bug them. But then the people who resonate with me, like yourself, my tribe, we let's go. Let's stop wasting time talking about the past. You heard me say in the 413. Let's stop wasting the present talking about the past, because there's nothing we can do about the past. Let's take the present and focus on the future and get our tribe together, and let's go.
Absolutely. Matt Blanchard is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. So we're talking about the 413. Tell everyone how the 413 has changed your life.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so the 413, we start out every morning with gratitude, 4 things that we're grateful for. And the 413 is a global community, literally from all over the world, every time zone in the United States. And you get to hear what people are grateful for. And it ranges from clean drinking water to the $900 million deal they just closed. It's humbling both ways. It's humbling. And then we move on to words that of encouragement. And you never know. And lately, I've been needing to hear these words of encouragement. And then we end the room with four words that you'll take today to move your life forward. And it's just forward thinking. And I had to ask Steve one day, it's like, forward thinking, I'm not getting it. Like, explain forward thinking to me. And he explained people, we all know those people who all they want to talk about is their past, how they were done dirty in business, or their divorce, or the loss of a child, or whatever it is, which are huge events in people's lives. I don't want to discount that, but we can either use those experiences to help others, or we can get stuck in the past. And there's nothing we can do but learn from the past and then use that to move forward and help others. At least that's what I do. And I would encourage others to do that. Stop talking about the past, but help others who may be in a current situation that you were in the past, and help them through it however you got through it. But that's the 413 to me. And every morning it gets our day going, and I get to hear you and rap out with you, which is amazing. So it's a blessing all the way around. It gets your day going right from the get-go.
Most definitely. And Matt Blanchard is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. So tell everybody about your new brand, Inspire.
Yeah, so when I speak, I've got my new brand. It's I Inspire. And I used to be a motivational speaker. And I come to find that I went to, I don't even remember where I was and who I was speaking. I was speaking to the Levitt Group, the Levitt Insurance Company. They're a nationwide company. And they say, we're motivated. We're a very motivated, forward-thinking company. But sometimes the grind just gets to us. And so they had me come and speak to inspire, so that when the grind is getting to a motivated person, bring me in, and I promise you, you're gonna be inspired. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. But at the end of the day, when I speak, it's not a rah, let's go conquer the world speech, but it's a life's hard. We get it, and let's do this thing together. Let's stop trying to do it alone. So I inspire is, I would love everybody on the planet to have one of those shirts, and because we all inspire in a certain way, whether that be negatively or positively, and we're all communicating with one another all the time in one way, in one fashion or another. Just how is that? So the I Inspire came, and my wife actually picked out the font, and we did the logo and finally got it dialed in, and yeah, pushing merchandise, and it's going well. It is really going well. Life is good.
That's so super, super proud of you for everything that you've done, and I thank you for everything that you bring to the 413 and what you bring to my timeline on Instagram. Every time I see your post, I just smile, and that's why I repost it, because you just have such an inspiring story, and just watching how you're growing and watching how you're thriving beyond your adversity is so incredibly inspiring. Hashtag I inspire. It definitely was the best thing for you to put that out there, because we see it all the time, but now more people are going to see it around the world, and that is a beautiful thing for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really am. I'm so excited. And, a lot of times I go and speak to, it's crazy. The mental health right now is so huge in the nation, and go and speak to elementary schools, junior highs, high schools, trying to encourage them just because of the pressure and pressures that I don't understand with social media and cyberbullying and all these other things. That I'm an old guy. I was around before the internet was even a thing. So I don't understand some of the trials that other people go through, but I'm here to listen, and I'm here to be a shoulder to cry on, and that coach that'll smack you on the butt until you get back in the game. That's for sure.
Definitely, and I think you talk about kind of the troubles that a lot of kids are having when it comes to social media, or people in general. When you have people like yourself, that really helps to brighten someone's day, because when you hear people like yourself on the 413, when you hear people like Kelly on the 413, when you see your post on an IG, that really does help to inspire people. What's happening when it comes to social media is that a lot of people are feeling like they're inadequate and they're not doing enough, because they see their friends, posting everything, this and the third, but not understanding that there's a huge struggle that comes behind that, and everyone's not going to post every single thing that went wrong that day. They're going to post more of what made them happy for the most part. Unless you specifically are doing motivational speaking and trying to show your trials and tribulations as you are doing, which is super freaking inspiring. Because like seeing you jump rope and all the other kind of stuff, and I was like, what? This is cool. So just all those little fun things that you wouldn't think about.
I think social media, unintentionally, so you're sitting here doing your grind, and you get on social media and you see everybody living their best lives for the most part. And you're doing your grind. And so unintentionally it's sucking from you, where, again, I'll come back to the 413. The 413 really feeds into you. And I've got my cup of coffee and the 413 and let's go.
Definitely.
Not being drained. Yeah, right? Don't you feel the same? The 413.
Yes, because you feel full when you're done. Your heart feels full because you've heard all these amazing stories and the amazing accents from all over the world. Like, I think one of my favorite things was when we said good morning. I believe it was good morning in all the different languages. Like, that was super dope. You get to see all these people. Right? Oh my God, yes, at least that was super cool. I was like, it's come through with the Korean translation. I haven't seen Korean since I was like 9, so I forgot. But that's what's up. Sure.
What I didn't realize too is how many ways you could say hello in Korean.
Yeah. Yep.
And you've got
and
like
that's the
Thomas
cool
from
thing too,
Japan,
different dialects. Mm-hmm.
right? Oh my gosh, you get so much, just a diverse. Oh my hell, yeah, just a diverse. I don't like calling it a family anymore. I like calling it a team, because we're all very like-minded, and like a family, you can kind of always come and they're going to console you, and like where a team can, hey, yo, let's go. You're not pulling your weight type thing, and I think that's the 413 is more of a team than a family.
Yeah. Most definitely. And Matt Blanchard, motivational speaker and teacher, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. One question that I always ask all of my guests is, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want to make the biggest difference on this planet that I can, and I'm doing that, and one person at a time. I have an acronym for HOPE. It's help one person every day, and it's a very ambitious thing to say. I want to change the world, but we're going to. And I think we are, slowly, one person at a time. So my life's ambition is, here you go. You ready for this, Danaya?
What's up?
Yep, I'm gonna live forever. I am. Let me tell you how this is gonna work. So I am raising money to build buildings for my foundation, Today's First Step, and we will donate to anywhere from cancer patients to spinal cord injuries to mental health, anything and everything. We'll be the largest foundation on the planet one day. And we will have buildings in every state. We will be global, and I will live forever through that legacy. And so that's my life's ambition, is to impact as many lives as I can, even after my death. So that's what I'm all about.
Absolutely. And talk about Today's First Step.
Yeah, so Today's First Step is a nonprofit, 501c3. It was started in 2007 by my brother and my sister-in-law, who, so when I first got hurt, all I wanted to do was walk again, as you can imagine. And we were trying to raise money to cover medical bills, because I had insurance, but it was astronomical. It was just for catastrophic, and the medical bills, just being life alone. Anyway, we're up there, and then I wanted to go over to China and have stem cells put in my back. So that's what we did, and they started this nonprofit to raise money for me initially, and we did all those things. And the stem cells didn't work out, but the following year we did it for Samuel Edwards, and we raised money for him. He was another spinal cord injury, got hurt snowboarding, and we were able to provide him with a vehicle and hand controls. The following year, I forget, but so we've had this foundation since 2007, but I got complacent and started working in the hospital and doing quite a bit of public speaking. And like you said earlier, this last accident really woke me up and made me realize that I am not reaching my full potential, and I better get my butt in gear, because none of us are guaranteed at the end of the day. And so now I am heavily vested in that nonprofit, so that we can help as many people. I mean, if we come across someone who is terminal, we will provide vacations, or like there's a gentleman, a young kid actually down here in St. George, Josh Guzier, who ended up with testicular cancer, and we were able to provide him with a trip to Alaska and do some fishing with his family, and so we'll be bigger than Make-A-Wish Foundation. We're still, I'm just barely redid the board, and am the president now, and am grinding. So, and you know me, I don't I don't stop grinding. So that's what we're doing. That's what today's first step's all about. We are going to impact the world by helping as many people as we can with whatever today's first step looks like. And today's first step is different for everybody. So yeah, that's my foundation.
Yeah, see why I love him, right? Like, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Tell everyone where they can find you, book you, all of that good stuff.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate you. So if the best way to communicate with me is through my Instagram. It's Matty Blanch 3, MattyBlanch 3. Or you can email at mattyblanch3@gmail.com. And you can book me. I do, you know what, that the last booking I actually did was for a group of 90 ladies, microbladers. Okay, so the eyebrow thing, I didn't know what microblading is. So anyway, I show up, and they're kid you not, Danaya, kid you not. I show up, I'm the only male. And I'm in a room with 90 absolutely gorgeous women in cocktail dresses, and I was in a suit, and we wrapped out. I mean, my presentation is normally right around an hour and a half, and we wrapped out for hours and hours and hours. And then after that, we danced, and I danced. Oh, girl, I danced in a chair. I've done more dancing in a wheelchair than I ever did before. So anyways, I speak to groups from, it really doesn't matter. A principle is a principle. And my story gets you emotionally invested, and then you tie a principle to that emotion, and that principle sticks. So it's powerful. It really is. It's powerful. So I would encourage anyone listening that is a business owner. I speak nationally, and come and book me, and I speak to teams all over the nation.
Absolutely. And Matt Blanchard is my guest on Danaya Azure Radio. Matt, I appreciate you. I cannot wait to work with you. It's so funny. I started to create some pieces for the holiday. So before we get out of here, give me your 4 and 40 for the day.
Ooh, my 4 and 40 for today is, let's see, never stop the grind. Don't focus so much on the destination. Enjoy the journey. Like, that's where real joy is on the journey. So enjoy the journey.
Most definitely. And what I want to say is happy Thanksgiving to all of our amazing audience. This was Danaya Azure Radio. Matt Blanchard was my guest. Please enjoy and have a phenomenal time with your family and your friends.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, what's up? It's Danaya Azure. Be sure to follow me all over social media at Danaya Azure, DanayaAzure, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Danaya Designs for You, facebook.com/Danaya Azure Radio, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Danaya Azure.